It's lunchtime, and this is Brad Anderson's Lunch Break. Here in Redmond, we're visited by some of the smartest people on the planet, pretty much every day. Every chance I get, I meet up with them for lunch. This week I'm meeting up with the very popular Jay Emery, the Senior Director of Global Enterprise Architecture at Anheuser-Busch InBev. So Jay, Anheuser-Busch InBev, and you guys are the result of 3 different brewing companies merging. You're now the biggest brewer in the world, 150,000 employees in 50 countries, and you gotta basically help set the architecture for that whole organization.
Exactly.
Now, when people think of Anheuser-Busch, they immediately think of the Midwest. But now you're based in the Bay Area, in Silicon Valley.
So we set up what we call the Beer Garage, and it's an innovation lab where some of our innovation experts, as well as our global enterprise architects, are currently based.
But you guys have taken the approach and said, listen, we want to participate in that talent pool, so we're going to go to it, and that's where we're going to have our architecture team.
Absolutely.
So this game is called Brew or False.
Okay.
So I'm going to read you some names.
Okay.
And you're going to tell me if it's an actual product made by Anheuser-Busch InBev. Bud Light Apple.
Brew.
Michelob Pumpkin Spice Ale.
Brew.
Michelob Ultra Fruit Lime Cactus.
False. I know we had cactus. I didn't know it was fruit cactus. Right? Got some homework to do.
Bud Light Lime Watermelon Rita.
Brew.
King Cobra Premium Malt Liquor.
Brew.
Spiced Banana Wheat.
It's brew.
Gluten-free Cranberry Bread.
False.
Thirsty Frog Red Ale.
False.
Boa Constrictor IPA.
False.
That's false, and you did dang good. So in this well-known global brand of brewing, how is IT fundamentally changing the business?
It's a good question. I think if I look back 5-10 years ago, IT almost was an order taker. Right? We were more on the menu. Exactly.
Yeah.
More on the menu. I think within the last 5 or so years, we've really got a seat at the table. And in my mind, we're actually at the head of the table, right? Because no longer are we, looking at more incremental upgrades or refreshes, but we're actually talk more about business capabilities. So what technology or innovations are coming that we can drive new business capabilities, right, and really create that kind of competitive advantage for our business.
Yeah, I love how you talked about, at seat at the table, in fact, at the head of the table. If someone's listening to this and they don't feel they have that seat at the table, what advice would you give them? How do they go grab it?
No, that's a good question. To me, I think it starts with a mindset change, right? Again, get out of the order taker and more understand what's the art of the possible, right? And then sit down with your business partners and explain to them or walk them through what are the new capabilities that are coming from a technology perspective. They may not know, right? And I think the business user is really starting to get kind of a crash course in technology, right? With the advent of the cloud, with the advent of SaaS type solutions, they're becoming more familiar with that on-demand cloud model, and it's less scary to them, right? And so they recognize that, and then now this is a good opportunity for you to approach them and really drive some of the change.
And so is that what you did there at Anheuser? You just went and you grabbed the role and said, listen, we're going to go and make some changes here.
One of the things we really did, we took a bit of a pivot and said, let's not talk about technology, let's talk about capabilities.
Got it.
Right, so wouldn't it be great, Mr. Salesperson, if we could do X, right? Don't come in and talk about technology, because a lot of times that gets missed. But when you talk about the capabilities and really connecting with their language, how you can better
enable them.
Exactly. And that really helps you get that seat at the table, and then you can use that to innovate.
So when you work with your company's leadership and you come up with these big, visions and these big goals, how much seniority do you need at ABI in order to ride one of the Clydesdales?
Are you looking for? Do we need to fly you down to St. Louis?
Next time on Brad Anderson's Lunch Break,
we're really focused, at least in the Beer Garage, at how do we leapfrog, right? Get rid of the incremental thought, because everybody's doing incremental updates, but how do we jump from on-premise data centers directly to cloud?
I gotta tell you, I hear that you guys have got the best products on the planet, but I can honestly say I've actually never tasted one.
We will find a way for you to do that, Brad, I'll tell you.